Hallo, hallo. Oh, perfekt. Stream ist on. Ja, ja, auf jeden Fall. Aber ich versuche, wir können erstmal gucken und kopieren. Ja, ich bin auch kurz, ob das auch wirklich funktioniert. So, das ist jetzt der Link. Was passiert? Ja. Man sieht dich schon live auf der ganzen Welt übrigens. Perfekt. Genau, also das müssen die dann nur steuern halt. Ja, dann funktioniert der Link. Das ist auch schwierig mit IO oder was das sein soll, ne? Da siehst du deine Mailadresse.
Test, test. Welcome. We proudly present SIBB Deep Tech Startup Night. So, who is SIBB or what is SIBB? We have a fancy video. So, welcome again. So it's the first tonight. We have this YouTube audience where you see this fancy little. Oh, I think we should because we keep the distance for better understanding. Maybe to we will manage without mask. I think. Yeah. So we have a hybrid event tonight. So I'm proud that we testing out new grounds as we do with our startup program. So you learned about the SIBB. We are the Berlin-Brandenburg Business or Digital Business Association. So we did lots of events. We are still doing events online now, and we are doing lots of networking and supporting Berlin digital business. So just come to us, approach us. I'm sure that we can help you. So, and it's time to, I always take 5 minutes time a day to be grateful. So today I'm grateful for the European Union and the sponsorship of this program. One half and the other half goes to the land of Berlin. And yeah, so they granted us this program and we proudly support 7 teams you will see tonight. They pitch their achievements after 6 months of work. And I'm happy to have Kai on the stage, who joined our program as one of the head coaches and who is supporting the teams. And yeah, maybe Kai, you can tell us a bit about how you experienced the teams and the spirit in the program and about the startups as well in general.
Okay, yeah. Cool. I'm Kai. I'm one of the 2 head coaches here in the Accelerator. I joined the program. I think you were a little bit in the program already together with Daria. She will be here tonight as well, hopefully. And what I can say is that I'm working for a number of accelerators, 2 of the Berlin Startup Stipendium, which is the case here as well, and another called the Founder Institute Climate Track. And what I can see from the program here is that I've rarely seen, or perhaps never, a program that is so tailor-made to the startups. So a coach or more than one coach for each topic, which is quite unique. I like that. And it's also necessary because we have quite a range of experience, quite a range of different industries in the accelerator, and that's, I think, the strength of the program, that we're trying to adapt to the needs, like very customer-oriented approach. So thank you for that, and thank you for giving us the liberty to do so.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kai, for the support. So we are now about to hear our startup's pitch. So to set the stage, we thought about awarding the best pitch tonight. So we have a jury award. So we'll have some selected jury members like Kai himself, Daria, Maren Lesche from Startup Colors Incubator as well, and one more from the investor side, Frank. So welcome to the jury. And we will have an audience award, so we will you will get the chance to vote for your favorite pitch tonight. So you can see what's expecting you tonight. So we'll see short team pitches. So teams will have about 5 minutes. Then you will have 5 minutes to ask questions and get them hopefully properly answered. And just one back, please. And after that, we'll have some time to decide on your favorite team and vote. And we have a sponsor for a really good prize for the winner team. And after the announcement of the winners, where the jury will have the chance to give some feedback, we'll have the networking in here. Unfortunately, not for the YouTube community, but I'm sure you will find some cold beer or other drink in your fridge to celebrate the awesome pitches. So, okay, we'll start with the first team. So not okay, the boring stuff as well. So we need special times 2020. So please, YouTube, you're far away, but all the audience in the room, keep your distance and wear your mask if you leave your seat. And I think most important thing, drinks are in the fridge, and after the pitches are finished, we will have some snacks on the bar. I think that's an important thing.
Yes, thank you. I'd just like to add that I'm super grateful that we can meet again. So let us behave the most cautious way possible, that we can continue to do like that. As the last time I've been here is I don't know, 8 months ago or so, and happy to have some sort of normal life again. So take care, wear your mask whenever you're walking around, and thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we'll change the order a bit, and Yuna will start to pitch. So 5 minutes, stage is yours.
So, hi, I'm Anna, CEO and founder of Yuna Technology. Yuna Technology is a B2C software solution for the fashion industry. We are shortening the design process to only some simple clicks. Click. Doesn't work? The click? No. I founded my own fashion label, and I had to recognize that's all very slow, not efficient, not productive. It takes all so long. And I founded a research group in the university in the field of business intelligence to found a solution how to shorten the design process. And when I had a look, or we had a look to the bigger fashion companies, they had the same problem. They're working all manual. Here you see all the manual work they are doing. They're doing manual performance analysis, manual pattern making, prints they are doing manual, everything. Even Marco Polo is still working with pencils. And that makes the click is not working that well. And that means over 6 million design hours and over 4 billion euros of cost for the fashion companies. And then maybe you say, well, fashion is very creative, but have a look to this picture. 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. Do you see any difference? No, because it's all variations of one product. If you go to a shop, you can see it's all the same. If you go December, January, April, all the same, only variation what can be perfectly done by artificial intelligence. And now we provide the solution. This is UNA. This is the UNA solution. We take all design data, performance analysis, print data, pattern data, pictures of photo shootings or technical drawings, and our solution, the UNA AI, we're working with GAN, Generative Adversarial Network, and we are providing new collections, single designs. We are providing print proposals, pattern proposals, and everything in just 1 second. And here you see one example of our customers. Wouter, for example, needs over 400 hours only for color concepts. And we take now all the color concept data, the clothes and the designs with a certain color, and the output is in just some seconds, new color concept and new design, clothing design. Now you see it. One collection is around 720 hours. If you have a look to our customer, wow, they need for one collection 1,700 hours. And we just shortening them to just one simple click. And that makes also a difference in the cost of the company. We're shorting 50% of the cost of the company, and also less design hours, like 2 billion less design hours. And not only that, we are also very sustainable, because if you know, technology means also sustainability. We are shortening the waste of the fashion industry. You know, there's a lot of waste in the fashion industry. Every year we have 4.3 billion tons of waste, and we can shorten that by technology and using digital designs. And we have also some competitors, for example, Design Novel of Korea or VAI in India, but they are not using, like we, the newest technology, GAN, Generative Adversarial Network. We won some awards until now. SIBB Startup Scholarship, we were nominated by the Deep Tech Award. We were in the Media Tech Hub and so on. And now we are coming to our advisors. We are very happy. We have a new advisor, Tanja Bogomes. She founded Kisura. She's also one of our angel investors. And also Koen Duut, she's also one of our clients. Bernd Keller from Marco Polo, and Carol, a very cool advisor. We know him from the scholarship. And this is the UNA team. That's me, Anna. I'm the CEO and founder. Kian is our CTO. Valeria, our CMO. Farouche is with us since some months. She's our full stack developer. We also have 3D designer and UX designer. And this is the beautiful UNA team. Thank you. This is UNA. That's it.
So, thank you for your pitch. So you have an awesome team, as we've seen. So what I would like to ask is, how far did you get into the support you can give to the fashion industry already? So can they actually already do something, or are you how far are you? And what's the next steps for you? as a team and a project?
What do you mean? Of course, we can do something. Maybe you will answer. You want to answer?
Right now, we're developing a model, we pre-trained model for our biggest client, for the first client, for Ersten family, and we hope it will be ready in a really short time. And using pre-trained model, companies already can use our solution. So they just add their design. So we hope we will finish it. We can train it in November. We have this milestone.
Ah, okay. So your goal is to really send out some new fashion designs as planned already in November.
Yeah,
awesome.
we're already working with real data, and we train algorithm with real data of our real customer.
Okay. So, who else has a question for Yuna team?
Thanks. So thank you, great pitch. And what I did not totally get from your pitch is who exactly is the customer that pays? What is the business model and who's the customer?
Okay, I can answer to that. So we have a lot of yes, here like this. We have a lot of customers and we have a few markets. First customers is fashion companies which produce their own designs, like Tom Taylor, Marco Polo, Hugo Boss, Adidas, all the companies. Then the second main customer for us is suppliers, fashion suppliers, because many fashion companies, they try not produce design themselves, but to shift it to fashion suppliers. And we target fashion suppliers in China right now. And besides that, our solution can be used by small designers, our solution can be used by fashion magazines for some extent, by e-commerce, by retailers, by fashion schools. So, and we have main markets. Main markets for us right now, Europe, Germany, due to our network, and also Spain and Portugal and China. And we have some thoughts about Russia due to our network and potential of the market.
Thank you. Just to let you know, all of you, when I'm typing on my phone, I'm taking notes. I'm not chatting.
All good.
So, one more question.
Hi, thanks for your pitch. I have a question on the technology. Can you elaborate a little bit on your AI part?
So for the AI model, I'm using something called GAN, Generative Adversarial Networks, in something pretty new. It was discovered or invented like 6 years ago, and it's people are still doing a lot of research about it, and it's not something that is used by companies yet. And so regarding the fashion industry, fashion companies are not using that technology, that creative technology yet, and we're taking advantage of that on the fashion market.
So did that answer your question?
I can explain like more simple ways. So there are different algorithms, different neural networks, machine learning. So what we do in machine learning. So it's a new technology which operates with visuals, with images. So it's two networks. Basically, it's two brains, if you can imagine, two parts, and they both cooperate with each other and generate images, which are based on data. If you imagine two designers, but designers, they use their own approach, their own vision, not based on what is demand of the market or historical data. And this algorithm, this new algorithm, it gives output based on what market needs, what really company needs. But they are creative, they are designers. This technology is really popular. Deepfake, if you heard about deepfake, when faces of people who do not exist are created. So if you're interested, you can just check online, they do not exist. So, and we are trying to do that in fashion industry. And as Kilian said, companies have not done that because it's very long to train and you need to have really good, profound knowledge in mathematics. So only research companies and some and the Fashion Institute in London does that. So we are pioneers.
Okay, thanks a lot for your pitch and answering the questions. Team U. Next up on the stage will be Team Resonanz. So the mic is yours. Okay.
It's better. Yeah. How it was back in the days when we did real events, something was wrong. Okay. Then we start. So we are Resonanz. We are Resonanz, a software company developing solutions for the energy industry. You all probably have seen this kind of pictures. I mean, human-caused climate change has a huge impact on the environment, and the impacts are more severe in some places more than other, but the changes are clearly visible everywhere. But slowly and surely, people and governments are taking measures against it, and we want to take a closer look at what's happening in Germany, specifically in the energy sector. For a long time, renewable energies has been a niche topic, but in the last 20 years, thanks to the EEG law, there has been a lot of progress being done to increase the share of renewables in the energy mix. So today we're looking at over 124 gigawatts of renewable installed capacity in Germany, which is remarkable if we take into consideration that 20 years ago we were starting at 12 gigawatts. So what are the impact of this and why are we doing this? I mean, today we're looking at less and less coal power plants, which means less coal extraction, which means less CO2 emissions. So our energy mix is becoming greener and greener. And tomorrow we want to have a sustainable carbon neutral energy supply with cheaper green electricity. And in the long run, we want to drastically reduce the rise of global temperature by stopping CO2 emissions or even reversing it. So what's happening in the front? So in the front, there are utility companies or your local energy providers. And today they are facing the huge volatilities caused by renewables. They have really old legacy systems, which are way too slow to process all the data that's coming real time. And the traders, they are faced with dealing with more and more data in order to make their good trading decisions. This is a badly drawn graph by me as an example. The brown line is the production of a coal power plant, and the blue line is the production of a wind power plant. As you can see, for the energy trader, it's much easier to sell the electricity produced by the coal power plant because it's basically constant. And today, around 80% of trading decisions is done by humans, so this is a very, very manual process. What is the utility going to look like tomorrow? We don't know this for sure, but we have a pretty good picture of where it's going. So let's take a detour and look at parallels in the stock market. This is a famous picture of the New York Stock Exchange in the past and now. Back in the days, all of the trades were being done manually. So you have traders picking up the phone and then calling people. There was a clear trend in increase in trading volume, in volatilities, and in human traders, which is similar to the energy market, until the paradigm shift of programmatic trading, which enabled companies to automate all the manual processes. There was a huge increase in trading volumes and trading frequency, and with it came a relief of human traders, which leads us to the second picture now, with only 30% of the trades in the stock market being done manually. Everything else is automated. So let's jump back to the utilities. So next, jump back to the utilities. Based on the trend we see in the stock market, we are confident that automation will also occur in the utilities, so in the energy market. And the number back there, the 80%, will switch and reverse to only 20% of the trades being done by manual trades, by humans, and then the rest being done by automation, by an AI. So there are some problems that utilities are facing in order to get there. And one problem is they have really old legacy system, as I mentioned, which are really slow. Next one is they don't have enough data in order to enable algo trading. Next one is they have really old and complex infrastructure. They lack the necessary personnel and they lack the software know-how. And these are just some of the problems. We have come up with a solution for it. And our solution is a holistic energy trading suite, which has every solution that an energy trader needs. The first solution is a trader-centric dashboard, which has all the information that the energy trader needs in order to make his trading decisions. The second product deals with the architecture part, the infrastructure part, which enables company to access data, process data, and analyze data in real time. And the third product, which is the holy grail basically, is the algo trader, which enables companies to automate their entire trading processes. And all three products we're currently developing with customers together. As a matter of fact, the first product is ready for a demo. So if you want, you can contact us. Of course, there are potential competitors in the market. As a matter of fact, currently we don't see direct competitors because a lot of companies in the energy sector, they have found their niche and are focusing on their niche products. But through diversification, we can see that they could become competitors. But we're confident that with our team, we're able to beat them. And together with this team, we're able to develop products which are perfectly suited to the needs of our customers. And with our customers, we know exactly what energy traders need. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. So I've seen your complicated monitoring screens and you explained how hard it was. So we see only the management part of the team, but be assured that the tech part is capable.
The tech part is actually still working now.
The tech part is still working.
They are watching maybe.
So maybe, one question about the energy business. Has that been, hindered by the Corona situation? And how did you, could you improve anyways?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people have read in the news that the gas prices were plummeting as much as the oil prices because they're coupled. Electricity prices for a while as well, but especially traders made a lot of arbitraging money, making use of the unprecedented and kind of unpredictable fluctuations in the market. But overall, energy luckily is I would say, non-cyclical, maybe not anti-cyclical, but a very non-cyclical industry because the lights also during Corona have to go on.
Okay. Yeah. So in the future, probably a situation your customers could benefit the most.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. One question.
Yes, thank you very much for the presentation. I do have two questions on which is a backbone or on which software framework things like that is it based, and which part do you make by your own, and which part is used already from another company or things like that. And on the chart of the other companies in the same market, do they all use the same data, or which is your source from the data?
Yeah, so it's quite a complicated question. I try to answer it as punchy as possible. So we actually have to be somewhere between these companies that were on the competitor chart. So we face competition through potential diversification. So they are data sources for us, they are partners, data inputs for us, but they could potentially overtake the part of the business that we try to delve in right now. And the software framework, as I said, most of them are somewhat connected through normal REST APIs. A lot of our customers are not cloud-based, so they're still on-premise. So this is what we have to deal with, old database structures, etc. So a lot of legacy, like you mentioned. And the rest is pretty standard. I mean, all the data processing techniques that we use are the similar as in other industries. And the algorithm development is primarily in Python. So we only work in Python, and on the back end, we work in Go. But you can be flexible in the industry. Does that answer the question?
So another question. Do we have a YouTube question? No, not yet. Okay. Kai has one.
Yeah, later I hold back a little bit, but now coming from the same industry as you are, I've got the question about the market entry. So how will you enter the market? Do you know a way that other startups that are working with the same sort of partners are going successfully?
Yeah, so this is a good question, and this is something that where you have to look a little bit at the midterm vision of the company. Right now, we're penetrating only the supply market, and the supply market, it's direct sales. You talk to you have a lead list of 100 utilities in Germany, maybe 200 in Europe. So through direct sales, we're trying to do projects with them and grow together with them, but that market is finite. So what we try to do is within that value chain where we found our position, this very complicated trading value chain, where we found a clear value proposition, we try to, as stupid as it sounds, but copy paste it to enable consumers, industrial consumers of energy, to participate in the market through the solutions that we currently build in supply. So we learn in supply and then try to diversify towards the demand. Does that answer the question?
So time for one last question. Do we have a YouTube question? No? All right. So if there's no other question, then thanks a lot, Team Resonanz. So now it's time for Team FAG. Welcome, please welcome Team FAG with a warm applause. Take care to really
Okay. So, yeah, I'm Tommy Mateo, and okay, I can change it. Good. And I'm from Team Beck. We are creating a tool for cancer patients, which are it is divided in three parts. It is a management tool, it is a predictive model, and it's a personal health record. So yeah, we think. Okay, one of our problems is basically that the data sharing among patients varies between healthcare systems to healthcare systems, and we think that sharing this data may help to improve, find a cure faster, and trying to tackle the problem faster. So this is more or less what we're doing. We are launching our MVP with two main features. One is the medical history of the patients, and the second one is a medical matchmaking system with a specialist about cancer. Okay, so about the market, there are 70 millions of there were 70 million cancer patients in 2018, and there will be 24 by 2030. And yeah, basically in Germany, there is something really special happening. For example, the Digital Care Act, which allows doctors to prescribe apps, and these ones to be reimbursed by the insurance companies. This is something that we would like to achieve. This is the team behind it, myself, Saif, and Sarah, and we would like to tackle this problem and try to develop a solution that works well for cancer patients. About our value proposition, it is divided in three parts. It's divided on the patient outcome, and the clinical outcome, and the economic outcome. And we would like to make a mixture in between what will be cheaper, what is the best treatment, what works faster for everyone, and what have less complications. This is more or less how it looks now, our MVP. Our business model is divided in two parts. Yeah, it is subscription-based, and we provide a freemium model, and we also provide a 15 euros per month model. And this is more or less how it looks now. It is like an anamnesis form that you go into the doctor and fill it, but you don't need to fill it every time that you go to the doctor, but only once and update it. After this, the second part will be to analyze this data and mix it with other databases. As for the data experiments, our CDO was working on survival models using public data sets, and she was taking variables what may help or improve the life of cancer patients. So, for example, yeah, about the rate of age, a correlation between age and certain type of a component that a patient may have in one medication. And this is more or less the traction that we have. We are pre-launch because we need to be CE certified to be in the market. But until now, we have like several visitors. We have 81 subscribers among channels. We did already 5 user tests, and we were in around more than 16 events, and we were either presenting of them or just being there. We had already a lot of feedback from other startups and possible partners, which is mainly positive. And as for geolocation, we are based in Berlin, but we would like to operate globally. Most of the cases can be found in Asia. Most of the technical help is needed in Africa, and the easiest entry point will be Europe and the Americas as well. And yeah, for now, we are in the launch and development phase, which is the first part, in which we need to now to work on our CE certification. But then after we launch in the market, the next one will be the growth phase. And then after the growth phase will be the expansion, in which will we be basically trying to gathering more customers and just replicating the model in several countries. And that's it.
So thanks a lot. So yeah, medicine or medical industry is really challenging. So what's your major challenge you are working on right now?
Okay, our major challenge is legal, basically. We cannot go into the market without being C certified GDPR and proving our data privacy and protection policies. I think that's our major thing right now, and but from there it is easier. Like we address it we talk with a lot of stakeholders. It was all the time with pharma industry, uniclinicums, and so on and so forth. People is interested in the product, but they want us to show, okay, I want it to be in the market and show me the data. Basically, what can you improve from cancer?
So you chose a rocky road. So any questions? Who wants to start? Daria.
Thank you. Hi. So what kind of pilot would be a perfect one for you to start? Pilot, or what kind of company would be a perfect pilot customer? So
Okay, usually what I have been contacting in the last time, and well, we have two major, when it's B2B, two majors. Insurance companies, they're interested in the product. Some of them have similar solutions, let's say, and uniclinicums. I have been working or talking lately mostly with uniclinicums, and some of them, if they're interested, they will overtake on the project as well.
Thanks.
So do we have a YouTube question yet? No? Okay, Kai.
Thanks again. I've got a question and a tip for everyone here who's presenting. In your industry, it's even more important than in any other industry, I know, to have a founder market fit, as I call it. So I didn't see a lot about that in your team slide. So what qualifies you to do this better than anyone else? And why will you succeed to enter in this highly regulated market as a team?
So yes, I think that's very important, but that's not necessary. I mean, we are living in a world where technology is impacting every industry. So if you are able to do something with the technology, you are very much able to do anything. So I have a background in healthcare, in digital healthcare, basically. So I'm not a doctor or a physician, but we are using technology with open data that's available, open data sets. So our CDO, as she mentioned, is a PhD, and she has developed this survival model specifically for cancer patients and their data. So right now, it's for right now, I mean, we do not have any, it's not a clinical decision support system or something like that. It's pretty straightforward for now. And we are hoping to delve into more, more like analytics, which is going to require that we get on board oncologists or a partner who's going to fill in that gap, which at the moment we do not have. But this is something that we are delving into. And soon, once we tackle that part, we will be getting there.
Cool. Clear call to action.
Sorry?
Cool. Clear call to action.
Thank you.
Get the doctor.
For example, still where we took care to make the right collaborations. And for example, for data, we were collaborating with the physiology department from the MIT and with the National Cancer Institute in the United States. So all the data process for developing our models were for cancer institutions and research center, basically. So yeah, it's also okay.
Okay, so you have some track record with institutions that support you. Yeah, he had actually kind of the same questions, so they. Actually not, but if it's really a quick question, then just.
The German health insurance is a program called DIGA, which means that an app, you know about this, and you're already in the process to think about your product can play a role in this. So.
Yes, in the best case, we would love to be part of the DIGA, but first we need to do the CE certification to launch into the market, and then we need to do our scientific validation. We have two options. We can just launch into the market and be considered as a DIGA directly, and we have 1 year to prove our scientific validation, or we can just try to do the process completely first, and then apply for the DIGA. And I think the second option will be better to tackle. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. So, team feedback. So now we are presenting on the stage Team Magic Zebra. So show us what's magic about you. And your clicker. And yeah, just speak closely into the mic that hear you loud and clearly.
Good evening, everyone.
Excellent.
You hear me? Yeah. We're super excited to be here with Team Magic Zebra, and we're working on transitioning the world to the future of work. My name is Jan. I'm the CEO of the company, and with me is my co-founder Maya, who's the CTO of the company. As the first product, we want to show you Nimble. And I want to start off with a question for you. So who knows this situation? Got this important message, and you know you got it somewhere, like on your laptop digitally, but you don't know where it was. Like you can't really refind it. One other situation. You're dealing with tons of different messengers and platforms that you need to manage and that you need to actually look at and monitor to reply all the messages. How about like this task or this action that is required from you that you just somehow got? So we talked to a lot of people. Just recently did a survey with about 200 responses, and the big problem is that communication right now is super fragmented and there's just an overwhelming amount of information out there. In fact, 85% of employers use more than one communication platforms, and an average person gets 90 emails a day. COVID made this problem even bigger, and this amount even worse. Communication through WhatsApp increased 40% over the COVID period. So to solve this, we created Nimble, and Maya's going to present it to you.
Cool. So what are we doing with Nimble to address the problems that Jan just mentioned? Well, Nimble is a web app that allows you to put all of your messages in one place. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this is. Oh no. You're getting a sneak peek. Okay. Nimble is a web app that puts all of your messages in one really coherent place. The first thing we allow you to do is we use triaging. So a user can split their messages into many different categories, some native to the app and some custom made by the user. So for example, here we have important, social, news. The important feed, for instance, is one where a user would go to check their priority emails and respond to them as quickly as possible. We also use AI to automate calendaring and tasking. So if a user gets a message that says something like, hey, let's do lunch Monday, 1 p.m., they're one click away from taking that message to a calendar. Or if they get a message saying, hey, can you send me this document before the end of the day, they're one click away from adding that to their task list. We also allow for more powerful searches. So people can search across all platforms at once. You can do this in 3 different ways. The first of which is keyword searching that you're all familiar with. The second of which is contextual. So you can select, I don't know, a date or the file type that you're looking for. And the last of which is by question. So asking yourself, when was the last time I went to the doctor's office? We have 3 pillars on which our technology is built. The first is putting all these messages in one place. We do that by accessing the APIs from each of these platforms. The second is using AI to do decision making. So we predict what's important to the user so they never forget to respond to a particular message. We also use AI to automate the calendaring and tasking that they receive in a message. And the last of which is hotkeys, so they can get through their message blazingly fast all through the keyboard. The impact this has on the user is they, 1, reduce their error. 2, they reduce their messaging time by half, saving 2 hours per day.
The opportunity behind this is massive. There are 4 million Gmail users out there. And if we just look at a fraction of power users that use several platforms, and we calculate it with 340 million power users, and look at the subscription fee of 10 euros, we're looking at a 40 billion annual market size. So you're probably wondering, like, why is this not anyone doing yet? And there's competition out there, but the market behind this is to be divided yet. Our closest competitor, enough said, just recently was founded last year, and other competitors either focus only on automating messaging and prioritization or on messaging bundling. We're a great team to solve this. Me, myself, I am a serious entrepreneur who has over 10 years experience in building startups. Maya is a full stack developer who has led and developed bigger tech teams and established products. A quick leap on our product roadmap. We're building the MVP until January 2021, and then we'll add further features over time. Right now, in order to get there, we're looking at raising 250,000 euros for 10% equity. We started telling that we're aggregating messages, but this is bigger than that. Every message has information and knowledge, and every message has a task. And we want to become the go-to place to manage all of these. You can't wait to actually use our product. You can get early access if you sign up on trynimble.io. Thank you.
So thanks a lot. So let's assume all of us here in the room want to use your product. So, but which platforms can we expect? So we have like Gmail users, other email platforms. We have Slack, we have Teams nowadays, we have WhatsApp, whatever. How do you start, and what are your major challenges?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Okay, survey results show that some of the top 3 platforms that people are currently using are Gmail, Slack, and WhatsApp. So those would be our primary integrations to start with, but obviously we don't want to end there. So vision-wise, we want to integrate as many messaging platforms as we possibly can, starting with the most popular, and even eventually, moving into the project management platform space as well.
So, but will that be easy?
Okay, yeah, not exactly. So some are super easy, right? So Gmail, Slack, APIs, tons of documentation. WhatsApp, we're figuring out there's like a paid business API access, and each of them sometimes have their own unique flaws or difficulties. So yes, but I think that we can do it.
Okay. So questions.
Thank you very much. 2 questions on how far, or maybe I can look at later on Try Nimble, but how far is your product? And the other question on which frameworks or which is based the AI and which is based the front end? Or what kind of technology and what kind of frameworks or things like that?
Yeah, so how far our product is, we're super early stages, we're the youngest team here. But yeah, so right now we have access to Gmail and Slack's API, the ability to like send messages across these platforms, only in the back end, not the front end. Our stack looks like React, Node, AWS at the moment. What else am I missing from your question? I'm sorry, what was the last part of your question? Yes. So the front end I say is the thing that that we're furthest behind on. But in terms of what data we're collecting, a lot of our customers have actually talked about data security as being one of their largest concerns. Yeah, exactly. So this is something we're prioritizing in terms of keeping data client side, training models later. It's not something we'll keep, but we'll use to train, and having people understand that we're not keeping their data or information.
So there's proof. We have people out there. One question from YouTube.
Yes, we have a YouTube viewer asking 2 questions. The first one is, how do you handle spam emails? And the second is, if I get 50 mails a day, do I have to check these by my own?
It's all very, very technical and product focused. Like, I'd love to tell you something.
Go for it.
To hand it over to Maya.
So I thought you guys would ask more business questions. Okay, so the 50 emails a day question. So this is where triaging comes in. It's super important that in the very beginning, like I said, the native setup would be you have an important section, you have an other section. In the important section, you would get the emails that you're getting from like individual people that we suspect would be important emails, and everything would go to other. And then it's up to the user to create this system for themselves to say, how do I want to separate these messages? And they would come in like as a feed into these different categories. Then you yourself enter one of those feeds. Let's say you're looking through the important category, and you would individually respond. And another feature that we didn't mention in the presentation is that you would then mark that message as done with the goal of getting to a 0 inbox, so that you don't have a stack full of messages within these feeds. They're done and they're moved over. Did I miss another part of that question?
So what we reached our time limit, or one last special question that's really quick. Okay, special questions are always important.
And there's a lot of competition out, so like France and Station. And so what do you think, what is the biggest challenge your competitors face and you will solve?
There is competition out there. There's not so much competition that has substantially taken off. For example, France, they're basically right now a simple aggregator of different messages, but not actually prioritizing across different platforms. They're not going towards integrating task management and further elements like this. That said, I mean, we put them there for a reason, and we think that they are actual competition, but we believe that we can beat them and that the market is not taken yet.
Thanks a lot. So, Team Magic Zebra. So, next on stage, Team Hear Me. So that gives me the opportunity to, to show to our roll-ups that shows women. Yeah, why would I do that? Because our all women team is kind of yeah, a bit representative for our whole program, because we reached almost 50% female representation in the whole program. So I'm really proud of that. And this is one team that helped to achieve that. So yeah, I'm really excited to, I'm really excited to hear what you have been doing.
So hi, I'm Susanna from Team Hear Me, and I want to talk to you about personal safety and prevention. Sounds boring? Let's see. Every second woman worldwide is a victim of sexual harassment. Domestic and public violence is a huge problem. Campaigns like Black Lives Matters and Me Too show that people are fed up and want to get loud. With Hear Me, we do get loud, and we develop innovative solutions to effectively prevent violence. Our mission is to empower people to get aware and to protect themselves actively and others. This is how it works. Police and self-defense experts recommend to carry a personal loud alarm as the most effective way to scare away aggressors and to get the attention of other people around for help. What we do is implementing a powerful 120 dB loud alarm into a nicely designed jewelry bracelet and connect it via Bluetooth to our Guardian community app. With our solution, we create a bunch of advantages. With our two-ways activation mechanism, we allow our user to either activate a silent or a loud alarm, very fast, easy, and intuitive with just one finger. In our app, the user can ask friends and family to be their guards. In case of activation, the GPS data goes to these guards with an SMS and to other app users around for first aid. In this SMS, the guard gets a link to our secured website where they then can follow your live location, be there really fast, or call the police. This tracking only works in case of activation. For market potential, we concentrated on the European market in first step. Here we look into females who live in big cities and spend an average of 120 euros a year on their personal safety. For the sum, we broke this number down to women who use a smartphone and wear jewelry from the middle and upper income groups. For the sum, we target women between 18 and 40 years who actively use social media and live in the DACH region. Here we calculate with a potential of 118 million for 1 year. When it comes to competition, we divide in direct and indirect competitors like pepper spray, personal alarm systems, and tracking apps. Our main competition are wearables with a direct access to the alarm trigger. Our advantage is the combination of a silent and a loud alarm in one device, plus the marriage of jewelry and tech. Instead of stirring up fear, we focus on creating awareness and empowerment, and thus a positive and emotional impulse to buy. By producing in Europe and using sustainable materials, we hit the values of our target group and differ clearly from our competitors. In the first year, we generate our revenues by selling our bracelet. And by adding new features to our app, we will be able to offer a monthly subscription model from the second year on. Plus, we are going for B2B, testing affiliate, white label, and licensing models in the areas of insurance, public transport, and jewelry, and then roll them out during our growth phase. This is our team. Our advantage is the combination of different professional backgrounds and networks. We cover the whole product development and unite strategic, creative, and technical skills in agile teamwork. We are all women, daughters and friends, and Olya, who's not here today, and me, we are also wives and mothers. And so we know and feel the pain of our future customers from different perspectives. Here we use our experience to transfer positive emotions into exciting storytelling. Take a look at our roadmap, maybe interesting for some of you later on. For pre-seed, we calculate an investment of 200K in combination with the Access Scholarship. And within 6 months, we will get our bracelet production ready and launch our basic app. In March 2021, we are going into crowdfunding and win our first paying customers and achieve a proof of concept. For scale up, we're going for a seed invest of 1.5 million. With this, we're starting into serial production, double our team, and push the sales. In the end of 22, we're going into the growth phase, launching new products and entering B2B business and new markets. Our vision for HEMI is to become an internationally well-known brand which is actively fighting against any kind of violence for all strong people in need all over the world. Thank you very much. Happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. Yeah, one question I would have. So how loud is actually the 120 decibel? Is it loud? And if it's loud, how do we get it into a tiny, fashion bracelet?
This is exactly the challenge, to get it like really small. So 130 dB is the, what is it in English? The border for like that it's really hurting. So it's really loud. Yeah, and how to get it like.
There is a physical boundary which does not allow the piezo buzzer be smaller than some specific size, but we can make it as small as 24 millimeters in width.
So you actually achieve to make it like a fashionable size.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a YouTube question again, Jascha.
Yes, our virtual guest Gerhard is asking, any idea about the monthly costs of your solution? The second question is, how will you create the necessary peer network to make your solution work effectively?
So monthly cost is, so in the beginning, the app is free. So if you purchase a bracelet, the app is coming for free. And it will have the MVP functionalities that you can get your guards from family and friends, and that they get a notification where you are in the moment that you trigger the alarm. So, and from the second year on, when we like add new features to the app, we will be able to, or we calculate with a monthly fee of €6.99.
Okay, thanks. Any more questions? Frank.
Maybe this really the same question. Did you ever think about public money for this? Because maybe it's interested for the Berlin police.
Yes, yes, we are already like talk or trying to talk to public, like to really like decision makers in the public space. But yeah, it's not so easy, but we're getting to it. So yeah.
And another bonus question for me, maybe. I think it's a great target to produce hardware, because everybody in startup is producing software. And did you ever have kind of experiences before that, or is it just sitting in a tiny room and beginning with some electric things from Conrad, or what did you do?
That's how I spent my 3 months, my first 3 months in the program. Yeah, but like we have experience. We have 2 tech girls in the team, so I'm more on the hardware part and all the guys on the software part. We feel confident. Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Okay, yeah, like I was building satellites and other wearables before, basically.
So it's rocket science basically. So another question.
So yeah, I have a question. I mean, because I'm just really surprised, it's 120 decibels. That's basically is damaging your ears. And well, I double checked, and jet engine is running at 70 to 80 decibels, and that's already people wear ear protection. And anything above 95 is you know, leading to temporary to even long-term hearing damage. But I mean, this is, I don't know, I have never seen 120 decibels coming out from a small watch. That's just, it's a challenge, and I hope you can tackle it. So I want to know if the watch is going to be, the bracelet is going to be waterproof. How is it going to talk with the phones? And I also want to know, like, let's say if I assume there is a situation where somebody wants to use it, maybe they don't have the ability to come and press it. So maybe you should look and invest into some other indicators. Let's say sudden heartbeat rising, whatever, you know, some sensors in there that could trigger it, you know, rather than pressing the button or finding. Because in situations like these, you rather would run or do something else. This is just my question.
Maybe I start with answering the last part
Just
first.
quickly, and the rest
okay.
is up to some demonstration later on, and maybe a video you're taking.
Okay, it's a really good question. This is what we have, I think, thought about like a million ways of activating the alarm. With like talking, like having a special word to activate, or also with censoring. This what we are producing right now, developing right now, is the MVP. So there's much more solutions later on, and like for like all the products that are coming there. And as it is also a jewelry brand, there are many more options to also connect the bracelet to a ring or something else, where you then can like have a Fernbedienung, another like part to get to activate the bracelet.
So just I want time is over. Thanks a lot. So we don't want to take away time from other teams. So next team, so second to last, is team EcoTrack.
Hi. So most of you guys probably know us, but for those in the stream and for those who don't, this is Rena, I'm Alex, and we are building EcoTrack, the go-to data-driven platform for sustainable decision-making.
Right now, decision makers spend up to 8 hours if they want to source new business partners or manage old ones regarding sustainability performance. A bunch of questions come to their mind. Who is the best fit for my company? Does this company fit to my code of conduct? Is every certification or label available and updated? Out there are 457 labels, norms, and certifications. I don't get it. I mean, how sustainable is the SIBB? Do you know? I don't. So there's a jungle of sustainability and no one sees through it.
Perfect. That's something you could display on EcoTrack. Basically, we're trying to create clarity in this sustainability jungle through simply connecting companies and decision makers and providing to the decision makers all the relevant sustainability data which they need, and also for the company, of course, visibility and an option to really have an overview over their sustainability data.
How does it work? We replace manual research with technology by aggregating different kinds of CSA data. In general, we have three main data clusters: public data from the web, primary data from the companies, and third-party data. Through our special classification and cluster system, we ensure that the quality and transparency of the data is awesome.
Yeah, how do we create data? Basically through the aggregation and also through the objective displaying of our data sources. So we are very transparent on our platform, which means that there's no greenwashing at all, and we display raw, but therefore comprehensive data, which is visualized and kind of conglomerated comprehensively. Then we are fast, not like other, maybe also going into the consulting thing. It takes up to 6 weeks sometimes to really get the sustainability performance of a company. With our platform, you could get it with one click. And the second thing is that we are tailored. Basically, we don't rate. So we don't give a company a rating from like 1 out of 100. Instead, we really focus on the criteria of our customers. So the customer could really give us his sustainability criteria, on which we then would display the sustainability data.
Our team consists of 4 creative problem solvers: Alex, who faces challenges regarding data engineering; Philip, our software engineer; Julene, our product team; and of course me. I'm in charge for marketing and sales.
So far, the ride with SIBB was a real roller coaster. We started actually with a sustainable facility management solution, but then quickly figured out, also of course because of Corona, that the product was definitely not viable. And then during Corona, we decided to pivot and really tackle the real B2B sustainability problems. And that's what we were creating the last months. So basically, we have a scalable pre-launch product now with all the scalable tech infrastructure also regarding the platform. And for now, in the next months, we are starting the POCs with our first customers. One of them is Pfizer.
After onboarding more pilot customers and gaining public awareness, we will aiming to launch our fully functioning beta version beginning of next year. Therefore, we are looking for funding.
As René said, we are looking intensively for pilot customers right now from any industry and any size. So if you know somebody, feel free to connect us. And also looking into the future, next year, we're looking definitely for investors, and before that, for business angels also. That's our backup slide. So now the questions will come where we will show the backup slides, perhaps.
Thank you. So my question would be, when the SIBB would be interested to be a pilot customer, would you support us, or which kind of companies are you looking for?
So we are a platform, so we have the demand and the supply side, and therefore you would be like the supply side and could onboard yourself with our easy onboard system and filter your own categories to first create your own profile to show to other business partners. You could also like send them like a email with it. So here's my EcoTrack profile, look how sustainable we are. And then there's the other side, so you could also source for your business partners.
So we could find out how sustainable we actually are, and we could show off or not, and we could find more sustainable suppliers with your tool. Okay, so now I got it. Probably didn't listen well enough. So YouTube question? No, not this time. All right, then one question, short question, please. Always short. Answer long, question short.
I actually don't have a question. I just have a suggestion, just because it came out of my mind. So, you know, these like some of these websites, they make these snippets or embedded, signatures. So you can do the same and make an email signature, because these companies, they send, like we already heard, maybe tens and 20 of emails every day. If the employees send, in total, it could be thousands every day. So if you could just make a little signature for them, where it is an HTML code, and on your website you can have a rating for them, and whenever they send their email and people read their email, they can see already how sustainable they are. So maybe 1 out of 3 or 10 or whatever, just an idea.
It's funny because we had exactly the same one for like driving traction on the supply side if a company wants to show off their efforts. So definitely, yeah, this could be a easily integrated and I think well effectively feature. Yeah.
So if anyone is interested to know about their sustainability, then you know whom to ask. So any more question about the business or project, Kai?
May I? Yeah, business question. About the market entry, mentioning Pfizer is good, but it didn't show really to me what your entry strategy in general is. Could you be a bit more specific?
Yeah, sure. Do you? Okay, I'll start. So in general, speaking about platforms, I guess the goal is really to drive traction on the supply side. So we need a lot of data from a lot of companies. But right now we're starting with the demand side with a couple of POCs as mentioned, so that we could really figure out the use case and define the supply side clearer. So what we are trying to do with the POCs now is to really get to know the supply side for specific use cases and then decide on one use case and go into this use case, get traction on the supply side, and then if you have the supply side, you basically have the demand side too, because then you have like the data and all the suppliers on your side and can create traction on the demand side. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. No more questions? That was Team EcoTrack. So last but not least, another tech team, Team Mineros.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having us. I'm Soren, and next to me is my co-founder Marius. I guess together we've been working in tech for something like 35 years already. Pretty senior, although he doesn't look like. Yeah, we're building Mineros, and Mineros will be the easiest way to run production-grade, secure and reliable infrastructure on all major cloud providers. Our mission is really to enable all kinds of team to use production-grade infrastructures. So how it's been traditionally, and the underlying problem is that managing infrastructure is hard, super hard, quite often over budget. You need to take care about security and compliance. And if you look at the talent side of things, people tend to say that developers are super rare resource, but if you then look into DevOps, you will quite quickly see that it's even more rare resource. So how it works traditionally, developers typically develop an application together with the product management team and hand it then over to ops. And this is where the journey starts. Developers want to ship quick and quite often, and ops, I guess, want to sleep at night and be compliant. So they are not necessarily best friends. What we are building is a self-service infrastructure that gives our customers a way to easily spin up multiple modules. If you think in terms of AWS, for example, AWS only offers, speaking as of today, more than 175 services. And setting those up is just super complicated, right? We speak in terms of databases, networks, etc. So what we will do, instead of approaching the ops department to please deploy my network or please deploy in Kubernetes cluster, they would set kind of a frame and rule set and ship it to the developers so they can self-service those underlying infrastructure components. This is an abstract layer of how we're building it. So most of our solution at the moment is open source, built on top of HashiCorp's Terraform. We are leveraging several other technologies such as Python, Rust, Go, HCL, building a front end with Vue. And on top of those modules, we will put pre-configured environments for Kubernetes, serverless, and compute, as well as security layers such as CIS benchmarks, PCI, DSS, and HIPAA. Why now? We see 80% of the companies using same and similar stacks, actually out of our own experience, especially Marius, who has been working in the industry for more than 20 years. We see a huge and significant rise of containers and, as previously mentioned, serverless technologies. And security and compliance become more and more a topic that shift towards the developer. This is an enormous market. I think cloud kind of grows 30% in spend year over year. And we are aiming towards taking over 10 million market share by the end of 2022. It brings us to the next slide. It's also very competitive and very opinionated. So we have various traditional providers, AWS, Google Cloud, etc., that all launch their own stacks, but they don't allow for managing multiple clouds. We have black boxes such as Morpheus Data, Quali, etc. Those are typically companies that give you a layer of management, but it's not open source and not transparent. And then there are various configuration and provisioning tools. Our go-to-market strategy, as previously mentioned, at the moment, we are mostly open sourcing all of our technologies. We have just realized a couple of weeks ago that teams from Palantir and Airbnb are using our technology. So what we're really trying to do is to convince developers on GitHub to use our modules and maybe just spin up a service or some services in the infrastructure. We will then expand towards the software engineering teams and later on, hopefully convince CTOs to spend on enterprise features such as identity management, compliance logs, etc. As said, revenue model is not 100% clear yet, so we're testing multiple approaches. What we will do though for sure is keep most of the solution free because we believe production grade infrastructure should be accessible for everyone. And later on, we will add features such as the mentioned pre-configured stacks, private service registries, multi-account setups, and of course also on-prem setups. The team, so Marius, who has been working in academics and tech for more than 23 years. He has held, this is his mom, by the way, hi. He's been working in several lead positions for various scale-ups throughout the industry. And I myself founded 3 tech companies. 2 of them are still existent, raised significant money. And I guess this is the most challenging challenge so far. So in order to make this happening, we are raising 1 or 2 million in seed capital, which should provide us with 12 to 18 months run rate. We would ideally then raise a significant grow round to take over more market shares. Our vision, in 5 years, Mineros will be the leading self-service cloud management platform for production-grade infrastructure environments. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always, technology. So, yeah, at the end, real tech team, technology at its best. So I must admit, I couldn't quite follow your presentation, your pitch, but I assume that your target group, your users and your customers were able to understand you. So who are the guys you are actually targeting right now? And you are already, you told us that you made some progress already.
Yeah, so of course, the first and initial pilots we closed throughout our own network, so mostly Berlin-based scale-ups. Our final target customer will be enterprises, so everything from 200 engineers on. And we're currently talking to multiple companies. We're talking to Allianz, BP, what else? Shell, I think as well, Deutsche Bank, Wirecard previously. Let's see if that happens. But right in the process of, I guess, closing the first big pilot.
So if there's any engineer out there that has questions, just address those 2. So any questions here in the room? One short question here.
So guys, this is really cool product, but I mean, I want to know exactly who is the target, like who's your customer? Like, is it SMEs or you say scale-ups, but that's a broad term, and so what kind of companies exactly you are targeting? Because any company which has 100 or 200 or more developers would rather go for industrial solutions than something that's made by a small startup. I mean, this is what I see, and just a question. And secondly, about the certifications that you said that you're offering, PCI DSS. I mean, this is your solution that is certified, or you will help them get their solution certified, or what is it? Where do these certifications come from? Also the HIPAA one.
I can maybe take the first question, which is the target customer, which is for our open source library. It's basically everybody out there. It's like startups can use our modules to easily spawn full security enabled infrastructure on AWS already. So we have an S3 module, for example, where you can store your data, which is has all security features that AWS offers automatically enabled. If you click it together on the console, you will not have as much security enabled before. But for the premium models, we definitely search enterprise customers and big teams that need some more self-service features. So basically that the DevOps teams or the platform team can set up like best practice templates, and the developer teams can just fill it out with the scale that they need.
Yeah, maybe in addition to that, if we say we target enterprises, it doesn't necessarily mean we take over the whole engineering department, although that would be very great. So typically you target one product team within those companies that spin up new services that work on a new product, and then you expand, right? But this is where the money is, and this is also, I guess, where you can measure added business value. To answer your second question in terms of compliance, regulatories, and policy. So what we do is we take those frameworks that give customers usually kind of a guideline on how to implement things, okay? So, for example, there is well-architected issue by AWS that explain how to come up with secure network servers, etc., okay? And then there are standards such as PCI DSS that say, okay, you need to encrypt your traffic end-to-end, etc. So all those measurements we can pre-configure in our modules, but our customer, if they don't agree or if they need to follow some standards that we don't cover, they can fully customize it. It's open source, and it will remain open source.
So thanks a lot for those technical answers. Team Mineros.
Thank you.
So we have a situation here that never really happened before. We are exactly on time. So what's going to happen next? So the audience will have the opportunity to choose their favorite team. So Mario will show the QR code you can scan, and the jury has the chance now for 5 minutes. So jury got some extra piece of paper where they find the QR code. So the jury can, if they want, leave the room with the other and just for 4 minutes, just, you know, give themselves quick opinion. And later on, we'll see them if they want on the stage and give some feedback to the teams. In between, I would like to ask Adam to present our sponsor for today's awards.
Thank you for the invitation. Can you hear me? Okay, so guys, I'm just filling the gap between the voting and the winners. And basically, I would like actually to introduce you to a couple of more information what SIBB is doing. So if I, do I have a clicker? Can I click something? Yeah, it doesn't work? Okay. Oh, it doesn't work. All right. So, all right. So we can skip that next one. And as you guys know, SIBB is just doing only the Startup Accelerator, the Startup Stipendium, but is also actually doing a lot of community work for different industries. But we're very open also just to deep tech startups. This is a deep tech startup scholarship. We've been just the founder of the Deep Tech Awards. And at the same time, we actually opened an amazing international project which started 5 years ago. They were dedicated to the internationalization with Poland. We had another project with United States. And with some other just connected ideas like the Deep Tech Awards and the Deep Tech Startup Stipendium, we decided to open up a new project, Deep Tech Hub. I would like to welcome my colleague, Katja, welcome you on the stage here. And we are actually responsible for two sides, two blocks of these projects. One is dedicated to Poland, and I'm responsible for that. And the second one is actually dedicated to Russia. Yes, this great market of great high-tech opportunities. Because the biggest part of you is like what she was saying, is just to find pilot projects, is to find something that is gonna push you to the limit and is gonna make you big. And big is sometimes outside of a DACH region. So if you would like to be outside of a region which is actually not compliant sometimes with a GDPR, but is much more open and faster to actually speed up your project, you should get acquainted with some of our best partners in this project. Katja is going to present in 2 seconds about the Skolkovo Open Innovation Program. Katja, could you tell us?
Hi. So I'm going to be your Sherpa, guiding you to the Russian market and introducing you to the biggest technological center, Skolkovo. It's one of our partners among the Russian Chamber of Trade and Commerce. So if you're going to sign up for a newsletter, we keep you updated, and you're going to see all the events also in Poland and in Russia. The next big event, one of the biggest tech conferences of Skolkovo, will be in October, from 19th till 21st of October. You also can apply for Green Tech Accelerator. And till October of 16th, you have an opportunity to apply for online workshop about soft landing at Skolkovo. So we also will have another partner. That's one of the first. Yeah, so we keep you updated. You're gonna drop me 5 lines, and I give you more information about the tech market and also about the opportunities to connect with this ecosystem of Russia tech in Russia Federation. Thank you.
Thank you, Katja. There is a lot of money on the Russian market just to invest, just to let you know. So it's actually quite easy to get venture funding. The sponsor of our award today is actually Wolf Summit. So yes, exactly. So we'll be giving a free attendance ticket in person to the Wolf Summit in Warsaw. Don't be worried, it's COVID-19 times. We know that there is a hybrid event dedicated, but if you would like to participate in a joint way, in a digital way, please use our code, which is 30% off. If you're any startup or you would like to get an investor, about that is the biggest Central Eastern European conference connecting startups in the deep tech area with the investors. So we're looking forward to the winner of tonight, but I would like to present you the next partner of our Polish program, which is Scale Up Champions. Most of you were talking about development plans and finding pilot projects and investors. The best way is just to go from another program to a second one with corporates, investors, and actually facilitators. So I would like to welcome Natalia from Poznański Park.
Hi, I'm Natalia, and I'm Anna, and we are Scale Up Champions team, and we are here to invite you to join our project. We offer you an investment readiness program. So if you're looking for investment, if you want to get in touch with investors from 5 thriving ecosystems of Poland, Denmark, Lithuania, Estonia, and Spain, that's the place.
We can match you with key ecosystem players. We can introduce you to corporates. In general, we can help you scale your business.
Join our project.
The project is amazing because it's actually ongoing, so you don't have to apply with a specific date. You've got deep tech startups, corporates, ecosystem players, investors from 5 countries, but your actually partner is going to be my Polish partner in Poznań, this Poznań Technology Park. So you have pan-European online incubation programs, startup corporates collaboration programs, and investment readiness in Denmark, Lithuania, Estonia, Spain, and Poland. So specifically, if you're talking about green tech, about fintech, about, yeah, it's sustainability. If it's about technology, about that, don't hesitate actually to join this great program. I can inform you everything about that, and I can connect you straight with a project coordinator, Natalia, who's looking forward for your application and just to connect you with some investors and corporates to develop your pilot projects. So guys, that's it about the scale up. Stay with us, stay with Deep Tech Hub, develop some great business opportunities, not only on the German market, but on the European market and the pan-European market, also in Russia, with the biggest technological heads. And yeah, now actually it's going to be time for some networking, I guess, but before it comes to networking, I got a hint from the waiters, just not to touch the food because they're going to be handing it out straight directly to you. Thank you for your attention and enjoy the evening.
So, thank you, Adam. So, now I want to invite the jury onto the stage. Please, jury, join us on the stage. So, I'm unfortunately not the one to tell funny stories. And the jury is not the one to be hurried. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mismatch, I guess. So I'll just, grab them by the scruff. Here they are. All right, so the stage is quite broad, so you don't have to cluster. So the idea is to give you the opportunity to give some feedback to the teams. So we are starting in the order of the pitch, and one or two of you.
And you did a good start because you started with the vision, right? And that's a good thing. So there are basically two things how to start a pitch. It's a vision or it's a clear problem statement and nothing else. Don't start with a solution. Don't start with you. Start with these things where people can connect to. I really like that. And the problem statement, you were too detailed. So if you do less details, you can go more into what matters, and that is your team and the power of your team. So that's a little bit my feedback to this.
Okay, thanks a lot. I just want to say that voting is closed. Yeah, okay, so they have a last change to make about the winner. Okay, so one more thought about Yuna, our next team, Team FAG.
It's slippery, because you sprayed. Yes, so I support a healthcare accelerator. I know you also applied for us, and we had one of the questions as well, the medical background. It's very great to see you coming that far, and I know you put a lot of effort in the last 6 months. I think one of the comments from the jury was as well, what are the next steps? What do you have to work on? There's a huge potential with the Digital Care Act coming up and digital solutions getting reimbursed by health insurance companies. We all know it's not an easy journey. So you have to really keep pushing. You need evidence in Germany. You need German data, but what's quite clear is that you technically know what to do. You need certification, you know the steps, and we truly appreciate that. There's still a long way to go. But a great presentation. And I think for everybody that is not in healthcare, you understand the complexity of that area.
Thanks a lot. So next would be Team Magic Zebra. Any feedback for them? Daria.
It was great to see how much you developed. Yeah, so from the start of the accelerator, I was quite surprised, like the way you chose to go. That's really very full market, actually. So it would be from my perspective, interesting to hear how you will solve it, like more technical details, basically. So that's the major comment. Who else wants to give feedback?
So one word about
This is
Daria. Daria is the
nimble,
other.
right? Like, yeah. I really liked the presentation. You had a lot of presence on stage that I thought. Like the dynamic between the two of you was great. This is what I thought. I looked like you had fun on stage. You were laughing a lot. Great vibes. In general, of course, after such a short time, there's a lot to do on the product. A lot of collaboration. But it's I enjoyed the presentation. This is what I can just say. So I haven't followed you in the last 6 months, but there was a lot of things I learned today, also based on the product that you presented.
I do have the same opinion that you're a good working team together. I think you're. I'm not playing with myself as well. I'm just looking on the time for the 5 minutes. You're a little bit longer than the 5 minutes, but the importance chart was your next step on your roadmap. I don't know how to call it. It was only on for 4 or 5 seconds, and that is for me now the leg, which will be your next steps. So I'm really looking forward to see what happens with your idea.
Thanks a lot for this valuable feedback. So next team to get some feedback would be Hear Me. Who wants to go forward?
I voted for them. You got my there's only a single vote. You can't vote multiple.
Yeah, we wanted to make it simple.
And, I don't vote for the idea as well, because we discussed outside if we vote for the idea or if we got connection to the idea. Maybe I'm in the healthcare sector and Hear Me is not really healthcare, but doesn't matter. So our thing was that we have a focus on how you presented it and how you get the really complex audience together behind your idea. And you have maybe the simple thing because everybody can understand your idea. So, but you presented this with a lot of, in Germany you call it Herzblut, and you stand behind the product. And for me, the importance point was that everybody's saying, yeah, we're looking for money for investors. And you said, we need 200,000 euros. It doesn't matter if it's 200,000 or 100 or 50 or 2 million or 3. You just said that's our point we are now on. And so you got my voice.
May I add?
Yeah, sure.
I love the pitch. So this first. So if you take this the positive side, I say one little downside. I think the market entry strategy was really too generic, and I don't know if you know your customer acquisition cost. I don't know if you know your customer lifetime value, and you didn't talk about that. And it would make it more credible if you could.
So I will. Okay, so we. I think you're on. We can hear you.
Okay.
Then I just talk. So you are one of those where I thought that I really could understand which group you target in the market. So that was like clearly defined. Others were more like broadened, but you have like a clear focus on your target that I like very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. But for YouTube, I think it's important too. I will check that. So thanks a lot for this feedback. Next would be Team EcoTrack. Who wants to say something about EcoTrack?
I think you were the team that said you pivoted, right? Yeah, this is the toughest you can do in such a short period of time. I thought you presented it very nicely. You also explained. I think there's a lot to do if you have a platform business. And I think you, Rena, also mentioned, you have both sides to serve. I think you're aware that you tackle, something this is big and, it requires a lot of work. What I truly appreciate that you said, hey, we really validated, we figured out it doesn't work. We moved around, we do something differently. I think it's extremely important to realize that then you most likely presented something you haven't worked on for 6 months or 9 months. So you come quite late into that. I could see that, you still need more time to work on that. But I also enjoyed the presentation, and for me, there was something that I get at the end. So it was, structured in a nice way and honest and open.
Thanks a lot. So, and feedback for the last team, Team Mineros. Oh, it was too technical. Oh, Maren again, the only one who was techie.
I mean, it's a little bit apple and oranges to compare because you're truly in a different area, in a different field. I might need another half an hour to understand everything you do. But what I truly believe is that you talk the language to people you want to reach. So the audience you have here is not the user group. And it became quite clear. I also believe that you as a team have fun working with these complex topics. This truly came across. You also have a clear roadmap. You know the complexity. You also know who is, the person you have to talk to, AWS and all the others. I'm not the end user or the user for that, so I can appreciate that you also talk a different language that I don't get 100%. But I think there are people out there that do. And it's important to actually talk the language to people you want to reach and not necessarily my language. So this is what I appreciate, but I have to also admit that I will need more time to understand.
Thanks for that. So what I understood is that Team Mineros is unique. And actually, I told them they are free to address their target group, so they don't have to do the usual investor pitch if they don't want to. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed as well.
I want just to comment. I really like that your team talked about yourselves. Yeah, you told about your experience. Some other teams also did, and I think that's like I want to hear this more during all startup pitches. I want to know to whom I'm talking, and it was really great. Thank you.
So and now last but not, one more.
Okay, Daria, I'm with you because I like the way how you showed us your experience and each other. Very, it was very natural and very cool. You presented it, and one cool thing is how you react on questions from the audience. I liked it because it was not an easy question that somebody saying, "Hey, it was a good question, but it was a critical question." That because somebody saying, "Hey, is it an idea for a startup or is it way too big for you?" And you were acting in the good way between too much being the boss on the stage and having not a company yet, and too much, or in the same way between saying we're doing it, and I think if we are good, we did it. So it was a very good answer from.
Thanks a lot for your feedback. Yeah. So one more Team Resonanz. What do you want to tell them?
Okay.
So storytelling. And now the last chapter of the feedback story.
Yeah, you did well. So yeah, I would like to come to the pitch because I can be very specific here. The starting slide, for example, you can just leave it out, right? It's not necessary at all. So when I said you can start with your vision or your problem statement is not climate change, certainly not. So you can start with a word about that, and that's it, because everybody knows about that. And then you give your specific problem. I missed that a little bit. That it's specific. Then people might understand, even if they're not from the industry.
So thanks a lot. Oh, one more.
I liked your presentation. I don't know. Yeah, it started a bit too meta maybe, but I liked it actually, and I also saw the improvement in the narrative. Maybe there's even more to improve, but for me it was very clean and clear and very understandable. So, thank you.
So thanks a lot. Thanks, jury, for the good feedback. Please applause. A quick one. And now we have the magic envelope announcement. Who is gonna be the jury award winner? This team. Hear me. So, and how about the audience? So they couldn't give feedback, but they voted nonetheless, and I'm really excited to know if there's another winner. And we have Team EcoTrack. So we've had two winners. We have had valuable feedback, and the chance is that you have plenty of time to get more feedback from the jury. They won't run away. We can, weather is nice. You can go outside as well to, deal with the corona situation better. 1 point I need to make. Sorry. Yeah, but comedy is a must. So 1 point to make. No self-service with the snacks. Just let them be handed out for you. And yeah, so the drinks are in the fridge. You will get some snacks and enjoy your evening and nice networking. Thanks a lot.
Hey, yeah, startups. Just the last word to the startups, because I was out of the program for 2 weeks. Approach me for your team coaching, right? And the thing that we all do in the next team coaching is pitching at least once.